I would like to ask a question about microorganisms. I saw that, I'm asking the question because from my experience or my daily work, I'm dealing with a lot of biostimulants based on microorganisms. They're very popular. I'm talking about, for instance, mycorrhiza, but not only. Yet there are only 4 microorganisms which are currently on the list of allowed microorganisms to be used. A question would be, actually, I have 2 questions, because national authorities very often request a specification of the strain. So you have to demonstrate, if, for instance, France requests even a registration of the strain that you're using in a database. So it needs to be characterized. It needs to be fully clear what it is. I understand, and please confirm that, for instance, I think there is mycorrhiza and others. So any strain that fits under mycorrhiza would be eligible for the European Fertiliser Regulation then, is that correct? Or is there some, how should I say that? Is there some limit as to, how the belonging to a certain, microorganism could be defined? And then my next question would be, that's a bit linked to that, how to expand actually that positive list of what is allowed. Is there a possibility that, for instance, if now a manufacturer or a group of manufacturers are using one microorganism which is not on that list, can they apply to have it added? How complicated is that? What's the procedure? Just in summary, and do not have to go into details, but just that we understand how that works with microorganisms in particular.
Okay, so let's start with micros. I love them a lot because I was a product developer, and this was my special scientific area. So my microbiological strains are our most favorite.
That's your cup of tea, right?
Yeah. So regarding mycorrhiza and the version of mycorrhiza and genre of mycorrhiza, legally all the mycorrhiza strains are acceptable under the umbrella of FPR. However, it is written in the FPR that the strain identification has to be established. And how can we, make strain identification? Naturally, it is an option to make a strain identification according to molecular genetic methods. This is the way what I prefer. And I also would like to highlight that there will be a harmonized standard soon in which molecular genetic identification is given for strain identification, and classical method is given for the CF2 measurement. So soon, the only way which would be acceptable to have the 60 sRNA analyzing for this test. But at this point, any kind of justification is acceptable. Naturally, all the manufacturer knows that molecular identification is not so expensive. It's around 50 or 100 euro. It's a 60 rDNA test, quite fast, quite simple, and all the scientific laboratory can establish. But there are so many strains, older strains or older collected strains, which has their own identification paper. It is a written form given by any microbiological laboratory, and that are also acceptable. But naturally, I always prefer molecular genetics, but older are also acceptable, but it's essential to have any kind of identification. And the reason why FPR is asking that, as because you are working with biopesticides, there are strains which can be used for biopests and other which can be used for non-biopests. So this is the reason why strain identification is a key for this step. And that's the reason why we are asking it, yeah. And regarding the other question that, can this list expanded in the future? The first expanding point will be the rhizobium strains, because the currently working on area is that our rhizobium the same as bradyrhizobium and enzifer, meliloti, and the other related genera which could belong to rhizobium, but naturally they are not equivalent than rhizobium because they are separated according to molecular genetic analysis, but legally that will be a genera group. So first the expanding point will be rhizobium, and after then the second step will be the other strain involvement, and there is a website link at the European Union Commission page that this is the website where the manufacturers, scientists, and everybody could send its own idea or its own strain or any kind of strain name that, yes, I would like to apply with this strain, and could you check please them whether they are suitable for becoming, the member of a positive list.
Okay, so that's actually a very easy process. I'm so surprised to see that at European level.
But don't forget, it doesn't mean that the strain will become the member of the positive list. It means that the Commission will consider, and the food chain and the health chain office has to check whether they are safety or not. So many toxicological tests, so many other tests has to be established. So it's not a 5-minute test, and it means a huge cost for the European Union.
So let's talk again in 10 years, and then we'll see whether something moved. Okay.
I don't think so that it will keep 10 years, but the European Union main approach is to expand the animal byproducts first, because they would like to have the circular economy. And after then they start to focus, better to micros. So that's the reason why we have to wait a little bit for the other things. Yeah.
Okay, I would like to move on to my next question, which is, again, very from the practical side and from your experience and working so far. Has it ever happened that you did not register a product? And if that happened, what was the reason? And I mean, how could you avoid it? Well, I think that's pretty obvious. You have to assess really in advance what it is and how it, what's up. But has it already happened that actually your notification body actually said, no, we do not certify this company, or we do not register this product? Has it happened in the past, and what were the reasons?
I only would answer from biostimulant side, but I'm sure that Zsuzsanna will answer from PFC1 side.
Yes, please.
Yeah, the short answer always is yes, but first I would like to highlight that you is saying that the company is not in compliance with the CE mark and the regulation. We always testing products. So the product is the one which is not in compliance with the regulation. And, if this is the situation, we are always offering solution ways. Okay. Since module B is a development part of the product, it means that the manufacturer has the opportunity to develop further the product. And if there will be any problem, we are offering that, okay, could you check this or that part? And if you have the willingness to make changes, we can keep the product in the process. Naturally, there are, products which fall out from the procedure. In this case, we have to send an official letter to other notified bodies that, we check this product, but it is not in compliance with the regulation. And the reason is that, if one manufacturer failed with one notified body, other has to know, and they cannot start the procedure again with that product. That product has to be, developed as well. That was the biostimulant part, but let's listen to PFC1 because that would be also a little bit.
Zsuzsanna, you want to add something on this one?
The case is similar for mineral fertilizer as well. We had the manufacturer until they can meet the requirement of the FPR. And I don't remember we would issue a certificate with non-conformity of a product. If the product non-conform with the FPR, we suggest manufacturer to correct your product or technical documentation and so on. Because when a product receive non-conform evaluation, notified bodies have to issue this decision in the European Union, and we think this isn't a good situation for a manufacturer in the future.